Good afternoon, old school Texas Tech. Hope everyone's doing well. Continuing with my college football predictions across the country, and I'm going to go ahead and take a shot at the 2024 Alabama Crimson Tide. Obviously, no more Nick Saban. I think I'm pronouncing his name right. Kalen DeBoer, the new coach, was doing some reading on him. This guy's a winner. I think in the long term at Alabama, he's going to be extremely successful. He's won everywhere he's been. I can't imagine him going to Alabama with all the resources that they have and not having success. Although those are really tough shoes to fill, really hard to come after Saban. But I think they picked a winner from what I read about him in his past. He's won everywhere he's been with a lot less resources than what he's going to have at Alabama. So anyway, no further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start with their schedule. August 31st, they play Western Kentucky. Obviously, this is going to be a win, not even close in terms of talent. His first game as head coach, I think he's going to get the victory. September 7th, they play South Florida. South Florida is definitely a program that's being talked about more and more, especially with conference realignment. They're definitely a decent team, but I think Alabama will get the win in week two. Um, September 14th, they go on the road to Wisconsin. That's going to be a difficult non-conference game, but I think Alabama's good enough to go up there and win that game. So I think they'll start the season 3-0. Then they get a bye before they play Georgia. This is a revenge game for Georgia. Alabama knocked Georgia out of the playoff last year in the SEC championship game. There's no Nick Saban. I'm just going with Georgia here. It's going to be Kalen DeBoer's first SEC game. That is going to be a rude rude awakening. I have Georgia winning this game, Alabama with their first loss on September 28th. October 5th, they play at Vanderbilt. That will be an easy win. Uh, October 12th, they play at home. It's against South Carolina. That should be a pretty easy win as well. On October 19th, they play at Tennessee. This will be the new coach's first a road SEC game. That's a really tough environment, obviously. I think that Alabama loses this game on October 19th. So I think they already have two losses halfway, about a little over halfway into the season. I think that's just going to be a tough. That's going to be a tough matchup for them on the road. October 26th, they play at home against Missouri. Missouri's a good team, but I think they're good, but they're not Alabama good. I think Alabama will get the win on October 26th. On November 9th, they play at LSU in Baton Rouge. That's going to be an incredibly tough game for Bama. I think this is definitely a game that could go either way. You could make the argument that Alabama might be a little bit more talented than LSU, but the fact that this is a home game for LSU is huge. And I should go ahead and mention this is an absolutely brutal schedule. So I do have Alabama with three losses for the season, but this is an absolutely brutal schedule. Almost any other program, I mean, it would be almost impossible to do anything with this schedule. But Alabama's talented enough to make it through it. November 16th, they play Mercer. That'll easily be a win. I am familiar with Mercer. I've spent some time near their campus. November 23rd, Alabama plays at Oklahoma. This will not be a cakewalk. This is definitely a trap game, but I do think Alabama will get the win. November 30th against Auburn. You never know with this game, but it is a home game for Alabama, so I do have them winning. So I have Alabama going 9-3 under their first year with Kalen DeBoer. I know this will not be up to Alabama's standards, but it is a transition year, and I think there will be a couple of games that they probably would not have lost with Saban one or two. But I think I think they really have picked a really good head coach to come after Saban. I just think it's going to take a year or two for him sort of hit his stride. I mean, when we say hit his stride, I mean 9-3 with a schedule like they have is still really impressive. But I think if he had been in place for a couple of years, they probably would win another game or two. But I do think there will be a little bit of a transition time for them. I think that's fair. So that's my prediction for the Alabama Crimson Tide 2024. I believe they will go 9-3 with losses at LSU, at Tennessee, and at home against Georgia.